The Canada 2006 census was a detailed enumeration of the Canadian population. Census Day was May 16, 2006. The following census was the 2011 census. Canada's total population enumerated by the 2006 census was 31,612,897. This count was lower than the official July 1, 2006 population estimate of 32,623,490 people. Summary: over 12.7 million households, 32.5 million people were expected to be counted. Canada Post delivered census forms by mail to 70% of the country, primarily residents in urban areas. Census enumerators delivered to the remaining 30% of households. Every fifth home received the long questionnaire. For the first time, Canadian residents were able to go online to fill in the forms. Statistics.Canada expected approximately 20% of households to file the surveys electronically. Assistant census staff are contacting tardy households. The total estimated cost of the 2006 census is $567 million spread over 7 years, employing more than 25,000 full and part-time census workers. New in the 2006 census questionnaire: education. Where did individuals receive the highest level of education? Income. Permission to use income information from individuals' income tax file. Income from child benefits. Income tax paid. Access to personal information. Permission to make information public in 92 years. Questions not asked in the 2006 census. Religion. Normally asked only once every 10 years, and the religion question was asked in the 2001 census. Education. The number of years of schooling received. Modified questions. Education. Data products. As the data were compiled, Statistics.Canada released various census data products. The first set of data products was released on March 13, 2007, originally scheduled for release on February 13, 2007, covering population and dwelling counts by geographical unit. This was followed by other census data products. Population and dwelling counts. The first release of 2006 census data was on March 13, 2007, covering population and dwelling counts by geographical unit. Population of the provinces and territories *. This change is likely overstated due to improvements in coverage of the Northwest Territories in 2006. Age and sex. The second release of 2006 census data was on July 17, 2007, covering age and sex of the Canadian population. Among other findings, Statistics.Canada reported that the 65 and over population was at a record high of 13.7% of the total population of Canada. By comparison, the 2001 census found that the 65 and over population was 13.0% of the total population of Canada. Population of each province and territory by age and sex. Families. Marital status, households and dwelling characteristics. The third release of 2006 census data was on September 12, 2007 and covered families, households, marital status, and dwelling characteristics. The following table displays various census data on marital status for the Canadian population aged 15 years or more, as well as data on the number of couples by various criteria, and where available the percentage change from the 2001 census. Immigration, citizenship, language, mobility and migration. The fourth release of 2006 census data was on December 4, 2007 and covered immigration, citizenship, language, mobility, migration and other population data. Aboriginal peoples. The fifth release of 2006 census data was on January 15, 2008, covering Aboriginal peoples, labour, place of work, commuting to work, education, language. The sixth release of 2006 census data was on March 4, 2008, covering labour, education and some other topics going with that. Ethnic origin, visible minorities. The seventh release of 2006 census data was on April 2, 2008, covering ethnic origins and visible minorities and commuting to work. Income, earnings, shelter costs. The eighth release of 2006 census data was on May 1, 2008, covering income and earnings, and shelter costs. Advertising. In contrast to 1996 focus groups that found it important to know the legal requirement at the outset, participants of 2005 focus groups were annoyed or provoked by draft ads reminding Canadians about the census law. As a result of the finding, Census.Canada's initial newspaper, radio and TV ads avoided mention of the legal requirement. Instead, reference to the census law was highlighted only in ads appearing after Census Day, to capture late filers. To encourage participation, Census.Canada set aside $13 million for saturation advertising, including billboards, bookmarks, inserts in municipal tax bills, and ads on bags of sugar and milk cartons. Outsourcing. Census.Canada reports less than 20% of the work will be outsourced, spending $85 million over 5 years. Despite an open public tender process, controversy arose on the announcement of a $43.3 million deal awarded to Lockheed Martin Canada, a subsidiary of Lockheed Martin, the world's largest defense contractor by defense revenue, for the purchase of scanning and printing software and hardware. Forms. A variety of forms were available in both official languages, varying in length, color, and recipient's location. Most households received the short form, English, orange, French, yellow. 1 in 5 received the long form, English, red, French, purple. Federal and provincial employees and the families working in embassies and national defense bases abroad, English, purple, French, red. In the 3 Northern Territories and non-Aboriginal communities and settlements, English, orange, French, yellow. Census of Agriculture, English, yellow, French, orange. Controversy. Special interest groups criticized Census.Canada over the design of questions, accuracy, and the future of the census data. Question 6. Relationship. Couples in same-sex marriages were offended by and/or objected to Census.Canada's instruction that they use the write-in field "Other" instead, if checking the husband-wife box. Question 16. Mother tongue. An anonymous email misinformation campaign advised bilingual francophones to not mention the knowledge of English. Question 53. Election to release census data after 92 years. Genealogists worried that future research will be hampered if Canadians didn't check this box. Nationally, there was a yes response in respect of 55.58% of persons enumerated in the census. The yes percentage was highest in Prince Edward Island, 64.50%, and lowest in Nunavut, 51.39%. Individual respondents are permitted to change the response to this question by mailing in a request for change form. In addition, Census.Canada's online questionnaire had been criticized over accessibility issues, failure to comply with Treasury Board guidelines to meet W3C accessibility recommendations for the visually impaired, failure to support open-source operating systems. Support for Linux was eventually added, but support for other operating systems was not. The quality of data was further hampered by individuals who advocated minimal cooperation and non-cooperation, in protest to the outsourcing contract awarded to Lockheed Martin. Many people believed that Lockheed Martin would have access to their information, and that the U.S. government could then access that information through the USA Patriot Act. However, despite assurances to the contrary, some people refused to participate fully in the census. The release of data was postponed to numerous issues during enumeration. These included the recruitment of enumerators amid a competitive job market, particularly in Western Canada, the requirement of some people to fill out a second form after the first forms did not arrive in the mail, and delays in payments to enumerators. As a result, the first release of data from the census, originally scheduled for release on February 13, 2007, was delayed to March 13, 2007.